Hey guys, welcome back. Of course, we're getting ready for a drink, as always. Today we are doing a citrus pineapple margarita. Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's gonna be.
I'm sure I'm excited about it.
The pineapple's actually going to play into two recipes, as well as the oranges. First in our margarita mix. Second, you guys, big families, little families, love to go out to the Chinese buffets. Yeah, we do too. So, I'm going to show you a way to make all the American Chinese you want at home. We're going to start tonight with three simple things. Sweet and sour pork, homemade sweet and sour sauce. We are also going to do a fried rice, as well as one of my favorite, crab rangoon. So we're going to start our drink, and we will be back in just a couple of minutes. Drink's almost ready. In the mixer, I have one whole orange, about 4 cups of ice. I'm going to do about a cup to a cup and a half of tequila. Cut it down, add more, you know. A couple of these, you won't even notice. Now I'm trying not to get our little friend in the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
He says, hello, hello from Mexico.
Have you ever ate the worm?
I have not.
Me neither.
I've never been brave enough to. I don't think I could do it. I really don't. You lost me. And one whole orange and about a cup and a half of pineapple. This is just something we're going to test. Never done this. I've got a funny feeling it's probably not going to be sweet enough, so I came prepared. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Normally, I would not use store-bought orange juice. Not that it's not good. It's just packed with way too much sugar and way too many other things that don't need to be there. I'm going to add, give or take, a cup of just plain orange juice, home style. Whatever trips your trigger, whatever you've got in your refrigerator.
A float boat.
Are we going to go through this again? Oh, no. It would help if you turn it on first. When it's ready, we'll be right back and start American Chinese takeout at home. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen with me, Mikey, and of course, my cameraman Roy.
Hey.
Today we also have some guests floating around the house somewhere. If they come in, they come in. If they don't, they don't. But everybody can say hi to Tim and Teresa.
Hey.
Okay, we are drinking something with tequila in it, which
Yes.
was not what we started. We just kept adding more stuff. So, yeah, you might want to skip this one. Wasn't the greatest. So, as I said tonight, we're going to be doing American Chinese takeout at home. We are going to be making sweet and sour pork, crab rangoon, egg drop soup, and maybe if I have some time, we'll squeeze something else out. But the first thing we are going to start with is the sweet and sour pork. Here I have about 2 pounds of a pork loin cut up, just bite-sized squares. I have a little bit of salt in here and a Vietnamese seasoning packet, which is actually used a lot in China. Small yellow package, and it just says Ga. I've never taken the time to translate it, but it's really, really good.
It's banging, man. It really is.
It'll give it that Asian flair that you're looking for.
It's worth a treat to try.
And it's very cheap.
Yes.
Similar to an American bouillon, but a lot more seasoning.
Oh,
A lot.
yes.
So, in here I have 2.5 to 3 cups plain cornstarch. I did add some light ground salt. Heavier salt tends to sink to the bottom, which is no guarantee it's not going to anyway, but we are going to flavor it up even more later. Throw in just a few pieces. And if you're wondering, with cornstarch, it gives it a much better texture and crisper without overcooking your pork. Sweet and sour pork, sweet and sour chicken, in my opinion, tend to be dry a lot of the times. In my pot, I have just plain vegetable cooking oil. This is cast iron. I may have 3 or 4 cups in there. I was originally planning on doing this in the wok, and then I realized I only have 1 wok, and there's 3 dishes I need to have. So the next dish that we are going to work on is our fried rice. I'm going to give you a little tip to that before we get started. Use your leftover rice if you want to make a really good fried rice that doesn't stick, stays separate, really tasty. Personally, I use basmati rice, but whatever rice you prefer, you can use. Brown rice, no matter what, I see stick a lot. But I've done this with white rice and basmati both. Just use your leftover from yesterday. I did make some earlier and have let cool. For the vegetables on there, I want to say pretty much anything you may have left over in your fridge. If you like it, throw it in. I'm keeping it simple. Today we're doing carrots, onions, garlic, scallions. It's always traditional to have egg in there. I see a lot of peas. I love peas, but I don't like my peas in my rice. I don't know why. It's a personal thing. I'm sure everybody's got one. Your pork, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I used to really, rice was rice, whatever, just get rice and just call it a day. But where you had the basmati rice, the first time I tried it, you don't need to have nothing on it. You cook it and it's ready to go.
If you guys are walking up and down the aisles in your store, check out the international aisle. Almost every store has them now. And try some new ingredients, or maybe some different ingredients that you're not quite overly familiar with, like Roy said, with rices.
Yeah.
You have jasmine, you have American long grain, short grain, you have a basmati, which is a very, very long grain rice, but absolutely will not stick together. It always stays separate. This is more of Indian, Middle Eastern type rice that they would use. When you get into the Asian countries, you get into a lot of the sticky rices, and I'll tell you right now, and this is absolutely not a joke, the biggest reason they use sticky rice, it's not easy to pick up individual grains with chopsticks. When it's stickier, they can push it to the side of the bowl into almost a ball and pick it up and eat it that way. Koreans do use spoons, but they lean more towards a multi-grain, very, very filling rice. So, when we get back, we should have our pork ready, and then we'll make the sweet and sour sauce and get our rice started when we come back on In the Kitchen with me, Mikey. We are about ready to start.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about mine.
Yeah, delish.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we'll have them again, do you?
Not this kind. In here we have our pork. As you can see, it's just starting to brown. And looks quite a bit like what you would find in an Asian restaurant. Usually on their buffets. So I got my wok getting super duper hot. And I'm going to show you my absolute favorite way of doing fried rice. This reheats really well. You want your wok smoking hot. The first thing you want to throw in, sounds really weird, 2 plain eggs. Got a wok spatula. Your eggs you want really hard fried, and then they'll be all the way through your rice. There we go. Let those continue to cook. I've got about 1/4 cup of regular onion, about 1/4 carrot, grated, about 1/2 inch of ginger, 3 cloves of garlic, or as much garlic as you possibly like. You can't go wrong with garlic. It's really, really good. Just a few scallions. We'll save more for on top. Once your vegetables get just a little bit of color on them, you can add your rice. And like I said, leftover rice is fine. I made this a little earlier today. There's a lot of this here, so we will be eating a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
You can adjust this recipe to however you like.
It's family night here.
Very much family night.
They still come around here eventually. You'll see them.
Get them in and out, in and out.
They really like your place, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Not many people allowed to come up here.
People these days.
Okay, I'm sure you guys have noticed most of the time when you get carry-out, the rice is yellow. I've personally never really seen yellow rice on the shelf. So they add, which if you've ever been into a Chinese grocery store, I'm sure you see it. They add egg shade, which is a food coloring. They add it to quite a few things for that yellow color. I don't really see a reason to. If you'd like it, be a little bit more authentic, go ahead. This is just a very light soy sauce. It's cooking, not as salty. Almost, I would say, like a maybe a watered down soy sauce. If you have a little bit in the bottle, put it in there. Mix a little water in it. And that is as simple as that with your fried rice. If you like your rice fried crisper, by all means, set it to the side. As they say in the commercials, set it and forget it. We are going to be making our sauce next. So what you'll want to get ready, if you have a cup and a half of good chicken stock. Fortunately, I did not have it, so I'm just using canned. Out of a can, you get about a cup and a half to 2 cups. I use low salt. This is the egg drop soup. I guess I need to tell you what we're making. You will also need about a tablespoon of water, a tablespoon and a half of cornstarch. You'll want to mix these two together really, really well to make a bit of a slurry. I have not started this yet, which on such a small pan, it's not going to take long. We're going to use about half of your slurry mix immediately, just to see how thick we're going to get. When we come back, I'll show you the sweet and sour sauce and to finish off your soup. Your soup will get to about as thick as honey, and that's perfect. Don't forget to come back. We'll finish this night of fun, friends, family, and Chinese.
Yeah.
What more could you want? Welcome back. As you can see, our pork is almost done. Our chicken stock and cornstarch slurry mix is almost to a boil. And you really won't know how thick it's going to be until it does hit a boil. And you want this with a little bit of texture. It's about like honey. Our rice, we've just let to sit and fry on one side. You flip, and you will get that crisp rice texture. So, while that's continuing to cook, I do believe our pork is ready to come out.
Boy, pork.
Now this is done with cornstarch rather than flour, a little bit of salt, and the only seasoning that we used on the pork itself is an Asian spice similar to, it's actually a spice blend, similar to something that we have with our bouillon cubes. But the bouillon cubes are typically just chicken or maybe some light seasoning. This is some pretty strong seasoning. And by strong, I don't mean repulsive by any means, or even hot. It's just a simple Asian taste. I believe there's maybe some cinnamon in there,
I've never tried it, and it's delicious.
Thank you.
Yes.
Guys, hit up your Asian markets. If you're in an area of one, once a week or so, pop in, try a new ingredient. Check out a new vegetable, a new fruit, something you haven't tried. Expand yourself. What's the worst? You end up not liking it? Our rice is almost finished, and it would appear that last piece of pork is ready. Oh, there's two.
Aha!
Another one snuck in.
It was hiding.
We're going to see how our egg drop soup is coming along. I think what we're going to do is just turn these burners around. Let that cook in the back. Let this one come up to the front. Actually, that pan can guard it while we're getting ready.
There we go. A friend of mine always said that she always spill rice when you cook Chinese. I think it's true.
This stove gets cleaned more than anything else in the house, and believe it or not, I only use it about once, maybe twice a week.
Yay, on Fridays.
Fridays it gets its use. Monday through Friday, the state has control of me.
The state.
No,
of
I'm not in prison.
Confusion.
What was that? Phil Collins. Not Ball of Confusion. What was that?
Land of Confusion.
Land of Confusion. Great song. All right, guys. Your egg drop soup is boiling now. I'm going to show you. I have 1 egg and just about 1/8 of a teaspoon of some of your cornstarch. Once this is at a full boil, turn it off before it boils over. Yeah, live TV.
Yes. Thank God for good editing.
No, I think I'm going to just leave that one as is.
Cool.
Get your whisk to a full spin and slowly add your egg in. Take a single fork or a chopstick and just flow with it.
That looks
Throw
awesome.
in. Look familiar?
Oh, that looks so good.
And last, when we come back, we'll show you the sweet and sour sauce and put everything together. We'll be right back. Hey guys, we got a little mixed up in saying that we were doing the sauce. I realized that when I went into the soup. This time we really are doing the sweet and sour sauce. Here I have just over a cup of fresh squeezed orange juice. If you don't have fresh squeezed, use what you got. I have a tablespoon of finely grated orange zest. Please wash your oranges. Most of the times in the store they have wax on them, so you just want to watch. In here I have what was left of some ketchup, maybe 1/4 of a cup, and about the same amount of vinegar. So all go in at once. You can start heating up. Well, hello, fire. You know you're not allowed in the kitchen. In here, I have the remaining slurry, which is going to just slightly thicken the sauce. And this is pretty much it for your takeout sweet and sour sauce. Theirs, again, is usually a little bit more red. You can look at the recipe. Oh, I've got cornstarch everywhere. You fry something without getting half of it on you. The reason most of their sauces are red, it's food coloring. And if you do just sit there and taste the sauce by itself, you'll definitely taste the ketchup. As you can see, our dinner is almost together. Somebody's belly growling?
Yeah.
See, when we cut away, I'm going to make something else. We are going to make something that Roy asked for.
Oh, yeah.
His favorite little thing from the buffet. We are going to make crab rangoon. Guys, it's super simple with the exception of the wrapping part. Yeah, I never was even good at wrapping presents. So he's going to be doing that part.
Ta-da!
Just like the tortillas, he made them. And they were so good if y'all remember that show.
I'm glad. That's what I can't wait to get into.
The soup.
Yes. Actually, all of it.
Asian at home, super simple, extremely cheap, and you can feed a lot of people with this. I may make some sweet and sour tofu, or I may break down and have a piece or two. You know, it is Friday. When we get back, we'll show you how to put everything together, as well as our wonderful appetizer of crab rangoon. We'll be right back. Guys, and welcome back. I had some extra wonton wrappers and I fried them up to go in the soup. Pretty much the same as they do in the store. Now, we also wrapped all of our crab rangoon. Again, it was one 8-ounce package of cream cheese, about a quarter of a cup of green onions, and give or take 3 ounces of fake crab meat. Took me a second. Around your wonton wrappers, just get them nice and moist with water. You can use egg wash if you like. For traditional, just bring corner to corner. These I let set a little bit too long while I waited.
Yep.
There you go. You can also roll them like a ravioli. Now I have these just laying on some cornstarch so they won't stick. Oil is about the same, 350 degrees. I think Roy just found that out.
Yeah, it's kind of warm.
Just want to make sure all of them stay together so you don't lose much of your filling in the oil. If you do find that a few of them pop, just stop and repinch, or you'll ruin your oil. This, you can still get a couple of uses out of it. Don't overcrowd your pan. Just going to use the same one that I have with the wonton skins, noodles. Just want to get a little bit of color on them. Oh, also inside the filling, I missed. We put 1 clove of garlic and about a quarter cup, maybe a little bit less of sugar. Some of the restaurants, their crab rangoon is sweeter than in others. If the one your favorite is doesn't have sugar, leave it out. If it is sweet, by all means add it. So we now have everything ready. All I have to do is plate. With your sweet and sour sauce, feel free to toss your sweet and sour chicken or your pork in there. Most of the restaurants that I've been to and go to, they tend to serve that on the side because people like different amounts. You have to forgive me, it's getting kind of warm in here. Also, some restaurants serve it with some pineapple. We had some leftover pineapple. That's what we'll do with ours. And once we get everything plated, we'll show you what it looks like. Welcome back. Everything is ready. As you've just seen how nicely well it was put together. Now, I do not eat meat anymore, and I especially do not eat pork. So I am frying up tofu. You can do tofu General Tso's chicken, tofu sweet and sour tofu. The best way, believe it or not, I've seen them do this on the internet quite a bit. They take their extra firm or firm tofu, freeze it, thaw it, freeze it, thaw it. On the second thaw, they squeeze it. I used a dish towel with mine, and the texture of it changes. It gets real flaky, and you just lightly coat it in whatever batter you're using. Like I said, we choose cornstarch to fries that better. And it really does almost look like chicken.
It does.
Is it going to taste like it? Probably not, but I think it would be a pretty good replacement. Now, guys, I thank you for joining us. Don't forget to both like and subscribe. You don't have to subscribe each time you come, but you should like each one when you stop by.
Yes, please.
And try our recipes. If you do try them, tell us how it turns out. Just let us know right below. And on your way down, don't forget, ring the bell, like, subscribe. Thank you guys again for stopping into our kitchen. You guys have a wonderful weekend.